Good morning, everybody. It's Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials. Happy New Year. And today I wanted to start out with just a quick video on how you can maximize and what you should focus on during the Medicare annual open enrollment period. I'll briefly explain exactly what that is, but it's the time frame from January 1st to March. January, February, and March, okay, where you can make changes if you have a Medicare Advantage plan. So real quickly, if you are, I also want to point out, it's been a blackout period for contracting. We've got a lot of changes on the horizon. If you've heard, CMS is potentially making some big changes. If you want this to be the best year that it can be for you and position yourself, align yourself with an upline that can be the biggest help and the biggest advocate for you during this time, reach out to me via my website. I'll be happy to share who I use as my FMO, and I believe they check most of the boxes that any agent's going to need better than the vast majority of FMOs out there. So again, please feel free, MedicareMillennials.com. Reach out to me. I'll share with you a little bit of information and connect you with them. And then also, if you want to do a one-on-one coaching call with me, you're welcome to reach out via my website as well. So let's jump right into it. First of all, what is Medicare Advantage open enrollment period? Very simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it. This is a time from January through the end of March, the first 3 months of the year, where Medicare beneficiaries who have a Medicare Advantage plan are able to make a change. So you can change from one Medicare Advantage plan to another, or you can drop Medicare Advantage and go back to original Medicare. What you can't do is go from original Medicare and a PDP onto a Medicare Advantage plan. Or you can't use this election period to change from a prescription drug plan to a different standalone drug plan. Can only make changes if you have a Medicare Advantage plan. Then you can go from one to the other or drop it entirely. Okay, another big thing to note here, you cannot advertise the Medicare open enrollment period the way that you do AEP. So you can send out mailers and do advertising, promoting the annual enrollment period, time to make a change if you so choose. You can't do that with the MAOEP. They have to reach out to you. And so that is why step number one, key number one to a successful OEP is what it is. So number one is to treasure your current clients. Now, as far as all the marketing rules, I never claim to be a marketing expert. You guys can consult with CMS to distinguish some of the nuances there. But here's what I will tell you. You can reach out regularly to your current clients. So whether you have 10 from this past AEP only, or you have 1,000 from over the past several years, you're in a renewal-based insurance business, your current book of business is treasure for several reasons. Number one, we want to encourage longevity within our book of business. So by simply being willing to take your time, answer the customer service calls, help people update their address and get a new card, help people understand how to activate their OTC benefit, their over-the-counter benefit, help people find an in-network doctor, whatever that might look like. It may feel like you're wasting time in that moment, but I can assure you over the medium to long term, you are going to gain a relationship, a personal relationship with each client you're able to help, which is in turn going to result in cross-sell opportunities and referrals. So, and it's most importantly, it's going to keep them on the books. They're only going to come to you if they feel they need to make a change. So treasure your current clients. Take your time. You don't have to spend 30 minutes per customer service phone call. You will learn to be quick, to the point, and concise. And you will also learn, hey, you're going to have to call the carrier for that. Here's what I can help with. I can look up doctors' networks real quick. I can explain what your overall dental benefit is, but you're going to have to talk to the plan to, obviously, for anything to do with claims, right? So you're going to learn how to mitigate your time there. Unless you're doing massive volume. So if you're somebody that's buying hundreds or thousands of leads, you're selling 50 to 100 plans per month, by all means, don't worry about the persistency because you're going to make up for that in volume and you truly wouldn't have the time to do customer service calls. But for those of us who are doing anywhere from 2 to 40 plans per month, we want to maximize persistency because we're not a call center and we're not doing massive volume, okay? So the second thing I want you to do along the lines of treasuring your current clients is to make sure that this time of year particularly you're keeping in touch with them. So you need to be sending them either a postcard, emails, texts, voicemails, whatever aligns with the way you like to do business. I prefer postcards. I'm not advertising the MAOEP. Here's what I do generally on that card. I want to get a picture of myself or you and your family in front of them. I want to thank them for letting me be their agent. I want to remind them if they have any problems or if they have any additional insurance needs to reach out to me, because I do sell various life, annuity, and health products. And then I also want to remind them that the scrupulous advertisers and call centers are going to continue to bombard them if they're confused or unsure about something, to make sure that they reach out to me first. So that's going to protect your book. It's going to encourage referrals. I'm specifically letting them know to have their family and friends call me. And it's going to encourage opportunities for cross-selling. And then the third thing that I want to point out is this is a great time of year to double down on whatever your main marketing is. So if you get out in the community and you do lots of free events, double down on it this time of year. If you buy direct mailers for low income subsidy or something along those lines, double down on your mailers this time of year. If you do T65 door knocking for MedSups, whatever your main marketing source is, double down on it this time of year. A couple of reasons. Number one, you're going to set your year off right. We all know that it takes discipline to be successful in this business. You want to establish habits of gaining new customers now. Not only to establish your habits, but because it gets more difficult later in the year. Why? Right now, people that made a change during AEP might feel regret or uncertainty about it. Therefore, anybody you encounter on Medicare may be an easier time for you to convert them to a different plan. Or alternatively, they didn't make a change during AEP and they're worried, like, did I miss out? Was I supposed to make a change? But the good news is, there's not as much massive advertising going on to them. So however you get in front of them, they're not going to be getting there's always a lot in Medicare, but as many calls, emails, letters in the mail as normal. So you're going to be able to address those needs a little bit more exclusively. So double down on your main marketing source now, because in the middle of the year, the commissions for plan transfers are much lower. People have already made enough changes, so everything will die down before AEP. So focus on your main marketing now. And then the last thing that I want to encourage you to do if you really want to grow your business is to test one new marketing option right now during this time of year. So I'm not saying to reallocate your budget and your effort and your times from what's working for you, but I'm saying you can dedicate a little bit of time. Maybe you've never done any local marketing and you want to go introduce yourself to some doctor's offices, some referral partners like financial partners or PNC agents, to attend some local leads events, to make a relationship with your local senior center or community center. Or maybe you want to try a new type of lead and you're going to allocate a little bit of your marketing budget to that. Now is a great time to do that, because either one, you'll be pleasantly surprised and it can be something you incorporate for the long term. But number two, if it's not something, it's something you can kind of check off your list early on in the year and not try to do right before the annual enrollment. It's never a good time to start trying brand new things in your marketing right before the annual enrollment period. You can't change your contracts. There's blackout periods. People are bombarded. You need to focus on what works. So right now is the time to try something new. If we're never trying something new, then we're never prepared for if things in the industry change. We have no backup plan. We have no alternative. You don't want to be exclusively dependent on one lead source, especially if that comes from your FMO, because in the horizon, it is possible we don't have access to FMOs. That is a possibility right now, which I'll make a video on later. I hope this was helpful. Y'all have a great OEP.